How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Minecraft Creaticrew video. So, I've been doing a fair bit of building and grinding of blocks since the last video. As you can see here, I've got the main circle for the tower built. I did move it a bit. The original place I was going to put it, as I might have mentioned, was somewhere down here, but I decided that I wanted to kind of shift it to be a central location. Hey, I'm feeling lucky. Where are you going to send me? Right into the middle of the circle. Nice. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So I moved it right into the middle of the valley. We can, if we go into here, we can see. I did some math to figure out where the middle would be, which is a risky proposition when I do it because I am terrible at math. So yeah. So I wanted it right in the center for future reasons, which will become clear later on. I have plans that would have been messed up if I didn't have it in the middle. Okay, so we've got this. This took a lot of blocks, but I'm getting pretty quick at building these guys now with generating flowers. And I think I might have figured out a basic way that we might be able to mass produce these. What I'm going to need is something that places down the smooth stone block, and then either by detecting a block update or by waiting the maximum amount of time it can take to replace the block, then picks it up again and places down a new one. So that's going to take maybe 2 or 3 blocks of automation actually acting on each block. Hopefully, if I go by a clock mechanism, all referring to one clock, so it doesn't cause too much lag on a server. But that will take a bit more automation and infrastructure than I have now. But I think it will be possible to automate production of it using maybe some stuff from Ender.io, for example. Might be able to automate that. I'm pretty sure it's got a block placer and block breaker, and that's really all I need. A block breaker, block placer, and a clock should be able to do it for me. So, the next step is what to do with the tower. I've got the circle placed down. It is 29 blocks from one side to the other. And, yeah. So, the interior, I'm going to have the entrance down here. And what I'm thinking is, as you come into the entrance, I actually should start breaking these blocks, because they're just markers to help me place everything. They're not needed anymore. As you come in, there'll be a circular staircase on the left and right going upwards. We'll have the main room, and then if you go back over here, there'll be a circular staircase left and right going down to the underground section, which I think is where I'm going to keep a lot of my automation. So, the next step is going to be to sacrifice many shovels to the shovel god to get rid of a load of this dirt and start laying some block. So guys, I will be back in a minute. Okay guys, here we go. 6 shovels have died the final death, and we have this area flattened out now. So it's time to do the staircases. So I'm gonna be beginning them here. So the basic idea is I believe I've shown this kind of basic concept before. It's not too complicated. Oh, and we've been interrupted. So let's deal with this guy. Ooh, is any of your stuff worth me taking? Ooh, I might as well. Nope. And nope. Okay, cool. So now what we want to do is build this out to hit. Whoops! I'm so used to pressing C to to crouch because of Creaticrews that I am messing up. We want to place this out here, slabs, and here's where things start to get a little bit complicated because we don't want to just go like that. That makes things look a bit weird. What we want to do is this, and that gives the staircase a feeling of actually being circular. And then for a while, we're going to be doing the same. So we want to go like this. And here we have a weird one because at this point, it's going to be kind of starting to angle around to this way. So we want to place around like this, but maybe also go there, because this is like a turning point in the staircase. And then like so for the next level. And at this point, we can finally just go like this, and you can see. So it's a little bit, it can be a little bit unintuitive at first. This one here, being like 5 long for a 3 wide staircase, can feel a little bit weird, but that's the way I do it. There's a few different ways of doing it. People have got different kind of ways of thinking about it. I prefer that one. It's not a true circle. It is actually deviating from the circle here, because all the others keep within, like, mostly, like this part here and this part here are 4 blocks out from the wall, so technically it's not keeping circle true, but I prefer it. I do want to wall this in though, so we'll have to see if that messes up the circle too much, and I might go back to the old version. We'll see. And yes, another thing is at these points, there's a few options as well. You can either go in like this, which I think is the best way, or you can kind of curl, this guy in like that, and then have this go on. But I don't like that method, and I just like to bring this guy out like that. I think that works better. So yeah, that is the basic staircase, and it arrives just at the kind of side point here. So I'm gonna go away and get that one placed too, and then we'll start working on going down the other side. See you in a minute. Okay, so preliminary stair work is done. I've done one of the staircases down here. Not going to do the second right now, as it's not actually needed, and I'm running quite low on seared bricks. It takes a fair amount to actually grind them up. So yeah, I've got this corridor down here. And in here is going to be the power generation room. So this is going to be where, at least for the first while, I'm going to be generating all of my power. But until we get to the point where I've got my generation process set up, it's going to be where I put some of the tech. Now, eventually, what I want to do is grow trees using the Ender.io farmer. It's got a block that farms. I'm not entirely sure what it's called. Let's actually look for that now. It's yeah, farming station. Use the logs to make charcoal, and then use the charcoal to feed I think it's Ender.io again. One of they've got a generator which basically burns solid fuel. The Stirling generator burns solid fuel to generate power. So it's going to be a very basic system. I will most likely upgrade it to something a little bit more fancy and weird later on, but this will do for, I guess, mid-game. So yeah, now I need to find where I put my other tech blocks, because I had some around here somewhere, and I'm too disorganized with all my chests lying around in random places, and I forget where things are. Ah, yeah, here we are. So what I need is just basically everything in here. I have a capacitor bank, which I've been charging up, and I love that I can charge them up and then rip them up and put them somewhere else and have them still have power. That is amazing. It used to, back in my day, it was quite rare for mods to do that. So let's, what do we need? So we need the battery. And then, yeah, I'll put the Stirling generators here because I might end up needing them. And that was a bit of an odd behavior there. Yeah, these two can just go over here because they're not needed right now. Okay, so the alloy smelter. What I need to do for now in here is burn up a load of nether quartz, because I'm going to need a load of silicon. And it should be cooking right there, but let's have a look. yeah, I need this, actually 2 types of silicon. So I need the Ender IO silicon, but I also need the refined storage silicon, which is done in a standard furnace. So let's put one of these guys here and put the rest of my nether quartz in there. I'm actually pretty close to my one of the fellow crew members. Rep T has a nether kind of portal right near where I am. Let's see, just down here somewhere. So getting the nether quartz seems pretty easy, as he has not taken any from the area around us in the nether. So I assume he's not overly interested in nether quartz. Glowstone seems to be more of his thing. So I am freely taking that. I hope no one ends up needing it, because I'm probably going to end up using quite a lot. Oh, fused quartz. No, this is not going right. Yes, okay. Nether quartz in alloy smelter. Coming out as silicon. But here it's coming out as fused quartz instead. And I'm not sure. Is it possible I've got the wrong block for some reason? I think I might have the wrong block. No, it's the same one I made. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to have to look this up, because this is a bit weird. Oh, alloys only. Oh, okay. Perhaps it will now do alloys only. Okay, so it might be that you have to configure it for the particular recipe you want. So let's see if it's going to do what we want now. I've unfortunately lost a bit of quartz to that mistake, but hopefully I'll still have enough. I had no idea. See, a lot of these blocks I've never actually used before, so I'm learning how to use them. There's probably lots of you screaming at the screen going, no, it's being really silly. And hopefully this doesn't produce the fused quartz again, although... Okay, so that is still producing the fused quartz. I am not entirely sure what to do about that. Okay. So, is there any other way of producing silicon with this? Because it looks like this particular one is not working. So we can use clay in a sag mill, or redstone, or sand in a sag mill. Actually, that might be the best way to produce it. Actually, it's quite a lot cheaper. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's see, I might have some sand. Oh, it looks like it's time to sleep. Okay, so that's interesting. I'm not sure if that's a kind of crafting recipe incompatibility between 2 of the mods or something, but it seems like something is going wrong there. The weird thing is that both items we wanted to create are Ender IO items, so maybe it's just a bug with Ender IO in this version. But it looks like there's other ways for us to get it, so we do not have to panic quite yet. However, I don't have any sand, so I think maybe it's time that I went and got a bit of sand and maybe got a little bit more of the tech set up. The objective is just to try out refined storage and see how much power it's going to take to keep it running. And then start making the ingredients for the other things, so we can get the kind of the power generation situation happening. So, okay guys, I will be back in a short while. Okay, so I'm back. I've done a little bit of infrastructure stuff, and these 2 blocks are going to be the start of the next phase of getting things up and running. This is a controller, and it won't show much right now, but let's actually have a look how much is being used of this. Okay, so this doesn't seem to use anything if it's not actually doing anything. Okay, cool. Now, this is basically the brain of a mod called Refined Storage, and that is a bit like Applied Energistics in that it allows you to store items digitally. So it's really good for logistics later on. So what we're going to do, though, is because we need to make some more advanced blocks for this to really get things going, we're going to have this solderer here. Whoops, I think I need to place that next to power. It needs to be powered. And what this solderer is going to do, now, let's see, where was it? I needed to make the disk drive, I needed the advanced processor, which means I needed printed advanced processor and printed silicon. So I need to put silicon in here, of which I have some here. And I am not sure why it is not allowing me to do things. Is it not perhaps accepting the power? Yep, that is an output side. So let's put output there maybe, and maybe that will allow it to do things. We go in here. Okay, so it's outputting power. And the solderer is not checking it, so I am just going to check what power it needs. Okay, so I was being silly, and apparently what it really needs is to be connected to the little controller guy here. So what I'm hoping is that the controller will relay power to it, so that all we need to do is place things in, and then it would receive power. But I'm not sure if the controller's active either, so I'm not sure. I need to go and do a little bit more reading, I think. Okay, so I figured it out. For some reason, when I placed this guy again, he had the max output set to 0, so he wasn't taking anything for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Okay, so let's see. It's actually confusing. This is, I think, sustainable. We'll be able to sustain this. This will last for quite a while. That's how much it's using just keeping that running. And probably from the making of the printed silicon as well. So let's let it make 10 of them. And let's see, what's it going to be using without that? It doesn't actually decrease noticeably. Okay, cool. So what we need now is to make a few diamond ones. And I'm going to let it make maybe 2 or 3 of these guys. And then we can start looking into making drives. Because when I've got the farm set up, I want all of the items coming into and out of this. So that I don't have to mess around with chest logic. Because it's just too much of a headache messing around with that. And I remember doing that way back in 1.4. And even in 1.5 as well, doing all sorts of chest routing, having pipes coming in and out of chests, and it's fun. But with all the complex processing in modern mods, it gets to be a bit of a headache. Okay, so what we need now is, there's that refined storage piece. Okay, so, disk manipulator, that's not what we want. We need this guy. So we need the advanced processor. Made in the solder, so we need redstone. Okay, cool. So we make that in the solder again. So let's put this stuff in. And probably just let it make those 3. And while it's doing that, what do we need after that? We need the machine casing. So we need more quartz enriched iron, of which we've got enough. So we can just make ourselves a machine casing. And we're going to need a chest. And I'm going to need a little bit more wood for that. So while that's cooking up downstairs, I'm going to run up here. Probably should... Whoops, sorry there, guys. Accidentally cut off my recording by pressing the wrong key. Yeah, I probably should sleep to get rid of the night. And let's go and grab some wood from somewhere. I think we'll just kill a tree. Hello, tree. Do you want to die? Die. Oh, that's quite a bunch there. Okay, so let's just make that into a big old lump of wood. Turn some of it into a chest. It's I guess it's logical having the chest be a requirement for the disk drive. So yeah. One thing about this is considerably, like, I'm not sure if I'd say it's cheaper, but it's more straightforward than it was in Applied Energetics, so that's good. I like that. I like it when things aren't just needlessly complicated. Okay, so we need those 3 for that. So I've got these guys. Let's go over here. Oh, that's also made in the solderer. Okay, cool. So what was that pattern again? This guy in the middle. Chest on the bottom. We're going to solder this metal machine casing to this wooden chest because that is how science works. And after that, we need to work on things like this. So we need the quite clear glass and this stuff, which just requires any kind of silicon, quartz-enriched iron, and any kind of glass. So for that, we're going to need some sand, actually, and I think I should still have some if I wasn't foolish and threw it away, because I have this awful habit, this utterly awful habit of going, I don't need this anymore. When I need to load of sand, I'm going to need loads, not a little bit, so I'm going to just get rid of this out of my inventory right now. I'm tired of it. It's clogging up space, and then I throw it away, and I find I need just like a couple. It's like a couple pieces of it. And looks like I don't have any. As a thing, though, of these mods, it can be really difficult to predict what you're going to need for the next step of a mod. So we are probably getting close to the time I should wrap up. But let's see. Do I have any sand in my local vicinity at all? It is getting very late, so I don't want to go off on a big old trip to get loads of resources. So yeah, I am a little bit at a loss. Ah, sand. Yes, okay. We are lucky. Let's get a load of this stuff, and then let's cook it up, and have some sand. I would like to, before the end of the episode, have a drive hooked up with a disc in it, so I can just have a look at it and see how it compares, and see how much kind of energy it costs. This does, refined storage does seem to cost a little bit more energy than Applied Energetics 1 cost, at least, to keep running. I'm pretty sure Applied AE2 is more expensive than AE1 was as well, because AE1 was very cheap to run any kind of power system at all. You could keep a pretty big system running on one, electric furnace, basically burning coal. Any kind of coal generator, you'd keep running pretty handily just on that. Okay, so let's burn up some of that. What else did we need for you? We needed the quite clear glass, which is made, I do not know how, so let's research that. Okay, so it seems the quite clear glass is actually made in the alloy smelter, and again, there was a recipe kind of bug where it wasn't taking the recipe that JEI was saying, so I think maybe someone has tweaked the recipes on the pack a little in the HermitCraft community. I don't know what's going on there. We'll figure it out anyway. So what we need so we had this, oh, this is also a thing, okay. So the clear glass, is that a, oh wow. Do you only accept the clear glass as well? Is this, how many different kinds of glass is this going to want to have? Oh no, that will accept normal glass, that's good. And this will accept normal glass too. So that might have been a superfluous glass crafting experience there, which is interesting. Let's get this out and go in here. Let's see, you I can make one of. Let's just check you out for a second. And you I can now make one of. Yes, I have a 1K storage disk. And here I have a disk drive. So let us put the disk drive here. Put the 1K disk inside it. That's weird and interesting. This is interesting. Okay, so that finally did a thing. I'm not sure what all this is about up here. But we have a disk in there. So if we go into I should probably get rid of this now. If we go into this, we should now see there is a disk drive in here. And the next thing I think we'd have to do is make the grid, which would allow us to interact with it and put items into it. And if we had this, the crafting grid would be the same, but would have the crafting thing, and then we have the pattern grid, which gives us another thing. So the grids are basically the same as the ME interfaces. I think, was that, or the terminal? Terminal, I think, was the one, yeah. That's going to require kind of more making of things in the solderer and putting things together. Bit of a grindy process. I will do that off camera to save you... Ooh, what are these? To save you the mental trauma. Oh, you're the other advanced processors. Awesome. See, all of this kind of inventory hassle right now. This is why I love things like refined storage and applied energetics, because you get it all set up and then you just... You know, whenever you want, you just chuck them in there, and you just go in there and search when you want to get it back. And it gets rid of all of this hassle, and it makes it... It's why I like to get it really done really early on. It makes it so much quicker to figure out all the crafting recipes. Because right now, I'm being slowed down a lot just by how much stuff I end up having in my inventory because of all the different things in the mods. So yeah, the plan is to have this set up for next video, at least running. Currently, as you can see, it's only burning 1 RF per tick, which I think comes to about 20 a second. And yeah, in all this time, it's only burnt about, what, 40,000 RF. So it's definitely very sustainable. And if we had just one of these guys burning some coal and outputting some power, it would very shortly, I think, change. Actually, yeah, if I put this guy on top, so we're actually seeing what it would do in the right circumstances. Yeah, you for now. So yeah, let's see how this fights against one generator. Boom. One generator completely stomps over the power requirements of a small network. This isn't a very big network yet, and by the time we've got it properly set up, we'll probably be burning a few hundred a second, maybe, if it's like a really big system. But I'm thinking we could probably make an efficient system that would burn less than what one generator would create. Quite possibly. And it's 20 RF per tick. So we can probably, you know, create something that would easily give us a huge amount of surplus power and power this system. And then either scale that system up to... You make all our power, or have an entirely different system to actually generate our big fun stuff power for making big things explode and do weird things. Anyway, I think it's time that I signed off for this video. So I really hope you enjoyed it, guys. Also, for anyone who didn't catch the Extra Life charity stream, we did do some Minecraft for that. We built an awesome Extra Life flag, kind of flagpole and flag system thing, a crazy build, and you can find that, I think it'll be on part 6 or 7 of the stream, which is hosted on the Creaticrew official Twitch page, and I'll post a link to that in the description of this video. So yeah, really hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Leave a comment if you have anything to say, especially advice on the mods, because I will be learning a lot of things new here. I've never used refined storage before. And I hope you'll join me next time. See you later, guys.